I was reborn and went back to the day before my bestie burned down my house. The first thing I did was hang up her call where she was crying and begging to stay with me, and dialed 110 right away. In my past life, she said after fighting with her boyfriend, she wanted to move to my place and crash for 2 days. Who would have guessed that the next day, she caught me off guard and set the house on fire. She left real quick like it was no big deal. Even though I survived, I was suffering way worse than being dead. 3 million yuan in debt, 10 years of slaving away like a workhorse. I just finished paying off the last of the debt when I got hit by a truck and died 1 second before I regained my freedom. The second I opened my eyes, what I saw was my home that hadn't been burned to a crisp yet. I pinched myself. The sharp pain told me this wasn't a dream. I looked at the calendar on my phone. It was exactly the day before the house got burned down. Since God gave me a second chance, I'm definitely going to live a good life this time. The ringtone I set for my bestie rang for a full 10 minutes. I pressed the answer button. If I didn't answer, she would definitely barge straight to my place. I can't let her come over. Ning Jochi also said he wants to break up with me and told me to move out of his apartment. My bestie Xia-an was crying and complaining on the other end of the line. Hearing her voice, I suddenly remembered what happened in my past life. Back then, I was worried she'd get wronged, so I let her stay at my place for a day. When she first arrived, her mood was pretty stable, but the next day she went completely crazy and burned the whole house and herself to ashes. Ever since then, my life was nothing but endless suffering and unpaid debts. Do you have any money on you? I really need it right now. Actually, I knew perfectly well in my heart she'd already given her salary card to her boyfriend. There's no way she had any money. I don't even have my ID card with me. Can I crash at your place for a while? She asked through sobs, sounding all wronged. And there was even a hint of complaint in her tone. What? He even took your ID card? No way, we need to call the cops for this. This is getting more and more outrageous, I exclaimed, but I already made up my mind. There's no way I'm letting her stay here. Don't do that, he'll hit me. Sha'an's voice was full of grievance. Don't be scared, the cops will protect you. Besides, you can't check into a hotel without an ID card, right? I purposely spoke in a troubled tone. Can I stay at your place? Just for 2 days. I'll make up with Brother Chi soon. She asked to stay at my place again. No way that's happening. I don't want to be in debt for decades again in this life. Luckily, Xiao-an always thought the apartment was rented by me. Xiao-an, the landlord said I can't have anyone else stay over. Let me think of another solution for you. I turned her down politely. Then can you ask him to make an exception for me? I really have nowhere to go. She was still sobbing on the other end. I hung up on her without hesitation. I dialed those 3 numbers right away and spoke to the cop through tears. Officer, my bestie is locked up by her boyfriend. He even took her ID card and won't give it back. After I gave the cop his address, I put my phone on airplane mode. Ready to start my new life? I quickly asked my team lead for 10 days of annual leave, packed up my luggage, and went on an impromptu trip. I asked the neighbor sister across the hall to keep an eye on my place. If anyone comes looking for me, just say I'm away on a business trip. She smiled and agreed right away. As for where I was going, I hadn't decided yet. I planned to buy a random ticket once I got to the airport. I was definitely not turning off airplane mode today. It was the warm spring season when flowers are blooming. Warm sea breeze blew gently across the coast, bringing waves of fresh scent. It felt super relaxing and comfortable. I was wearing a comfy swimsuit and a pair of trendy sunglasses on my face, laying lazily on a beach chair, letting the warm sun cover my whole body, enjoying this rare and chill time. I spent a lot of time today, refreshing and browsing all kinds of trending news and social media posts. But unfortunately, I never saw any latest updates or news reports about Xian. Ring, ring, ring. That special ringtone suddenly went off. At this time of day, shouldn't she be fast asleep already? The nonstop ringing made the guy in sunglasses, sunbathing on the next beach chair, turn to look at me. I panicked a little and quickly pressed the answer button. Wei Yining, didn't I tell you not to call the police? Xiao-an's voice sounded a little hysterical. Xiao-an, I'm doing this for your own good. Why can't you understand that? I spoke, my voice thick with grievance. You ruined Chie. Do you even know that? He said he wants to break up with me, all because of you. Chi and I are totally done. Wait for me, I'm coming to find you right now. Loud whooshing wind came from Xia-an's end of the line. It sounded like she was hurrying on her way. I'm your best bestie, for God's sake. What's wrong with crashing at your place for 2 days? Did you have to blow this up so badly? She was still yelling into the wind. But I didn't care at all. I just hung up the phone directly and blocked her number right after. Like she could actually find me today. As if. The man next to me wearing sunglasses was still looking at me from the side. I gave him a small smile and looked him up and down. This guy is really good looking. Got that broad-shouldered buff build, super manly. I glanced further down. Heh, that's way better than I expected. In my past life, I never even touched a guy's hand. I totally missed out on so much. But I can give it a little try this lifetime. But before I could even try anything, my neighbor's sister texted me some gossip. Xia-an first went to my company to look for me today. After the receptionist told her I wasn't there, she threw a huge tantrum on the spot and ended up getting dragged out by the company security guards. Then she rushed to my apartment and banged on the door. After knocking for ages with no response, she actually got a locksmith to try picking the lock. The locksmith was just starting to work on the lock. When my neighbor's sister came back from shopping and caught them red-handed, she questioned them sharply. What gives you the right to pick someone else's door lock? Xia-an lied and said she couldn't reach me. She was worried I had an accident at home, so she wanted to unlock the door. But my neighbor's sister called her bluff right away, said I was away on a business trip, and told her to leave immediately. Xia-an refused to believe her at all, and insisted on opening the lock. My neighbor's sister lost her temper, called the police right there to report an attempted break-in. That's when the locksmith realized he'd been tricked, cursed about his bad luck, grabbed his tools and ran off quickly. And Xia-an got herself another free day trip in a police car. I don't know what happened after that. I was extremely grateful to my neighbor's sister, but she said there was no need to thank her. Just help her find a boyfriend, that's enough. That made me grind my teeth in frustration. Xia-an is so freaking crazy. She never thinks about the consequences of her actions. I can't even imagine. If Xia-an had actually gotten into my apartment today, would she have set it on fire like she did in my past life? Our family backgrounds are worlds apart. She grew up with a privileged life, the apple of her family's eye. She has no idea how hard life can be for ordinary people. I was raised by my grandma, who collected scrap to get by. After my parents had my little brother, the three of them left to work in other cities. They didn't even come back for holidays. My grandma never went to school, but she only hoped I could study hard, so I could leave the mountain village in the future and go see the world outside. I was a top student, so I got specially recruited by a private high school. Not only was my tuition waived, I also got a scholarship. Meeting Xia-an was a total accident. In my second year of high school, she was being bullied by the school's mean girl leader. Seeing her crying so hard, I was passing by and couldn't bear to watch. So I stepped in to help her. From that day on, I got a new nickname, Xia-an's Shadow. Xia-an always told me I was her best friend and told me not to care about other people's gossip. I usually either studied or worked part-time to make money. Whenever I felt miserable and helpless, Xia-an would always stay by my side and comfort me patiently. Back then, I truly saw her as the only good friend in my life. When Xia-an went to college, she started dating Zhou Qie. Her parents didn't approve of the relationship, so she went on a hunger strike. Somehow later on, her parents accepted this boyfriend and even bought a house for the two of them. Zhou Qie was a total punk to begin with. He never studied seriously in college. He got into fights all the time, skipped classes, and messed around. I tried to talk sense into her many times, told her Zhou Qie wasn't a reliable guy, but she immediately told Zhou Qie everything I said I was bad-mouthing him behind his back. I've wanted to end this friendship for a long time, but Xia-an is way too clingy. She calls and texts me every single day, always says it's unsafe for me to live alone outside. She can't stop worrying about me. I don't have many friends. She's the one I hang out with most often. Except she's totally muddle-headed when it comes to Zhou Qie. She's pretty nice to me overall. So our friendship has been staying lukewarm all this time. As for that new apartment, to make Zhou Qie look good, she secretly took her household registration and got a marriage license with him, and even gifted the apartment to Zhou Qie. Now the property deed only has Zhou Qie's name on it, When it comes to this lovesick fool, Xia, I really can't talk any sense into her, and I don't want to waste my breath anymore. Lying on the big hotel bed, I tossed and turned, unable to fall asleep. All I could think about was how I would avoid Xia, this walking time bomb. I asked for leave on short notice after all. I didn't even have time to hand over my work to anyone else. It had only been 5 days. When my boss started urging me to come back to work, the frustration of being an ordinary worker. Who can really relate to that, huh? Before I even boarded the plane, I already texted Xian's parents about what's been going on with her recently. I told them to talk some sense into her and make sure that crazy woman doesn't come harass me at my company. The fire in my past life didn't just burn down my house and take Xian's life. It also burned down my neighbors' houses. All the millions in losses were pinned on me. Xian's parents didn't help me pay a single cent and insisted that Xian would never kill herself, that I must have killed her. The fire started on its own. Xian just couldn't get out in time. Their daughter was totally fine. Why would she kill herself for no reason? It must be my fault. I was kind enough to let her stay with me. But it ended up being all my fault. In this life, that family better leave me the hell alone. I'm gonna live my own life properly. I went back to work. Half a month later, right after work, I was standing at the company entrance. When I saw Xian and Zhou Qi, "Hey, Li Ning, long time no see." I was wrong last time. Xian walked over grinning and linked arms with me, acting like we're super close besties. "Qie and I came here specially to apologize to you today. Are you free? Let's grab dinner together." I glanced at Zhou Qi, who was forcing a smile. This guy's a notorious emotional manipulator. I can't afford to mess with him. Xiaoan, I was too impulsive about what happened last time. But you were also in the wrong. You said Qie kept your ID card. I just panicked right away back then. I said this in a super aggrieved tone. Sure enough, Zhou Qie's face darkened, and his eyes were full of dangerous intent. No way in hell. This is almost definitely a trap. There's no way I'm going. I didn't make myself clear last time. Why did you have to go on a business trip right at that time? Xian squeezed my arm tightly. It hurt so bad. The company arranged it. I put on a super regretful look. Sorry, Xiaoan, bad timing. We're having a company team building tonight. I'll treat you guys next time, okay? I quickly pulled my arm out of her grip and randomly linked arms with someone standing at the company entrance. Yining, that's a guy. Are you dating him? Xian looked shocked, staring hard at our linked arms. Since when am I dating someone? I looked up. Oh, right, it really is a guy. I was only looking at his clothes just now. I didn't even pay attention to his gender. Ugh, why does he have to wear a pink shirt for no reason? But his arm muscles are actually pretty defined. Wait, I feel like I've seen him somewhere before, whatever. I just need to get rid of these two nuisances first. We're just good coworkers. All right, we gotta go now. I'll treat everyone to dinner next time. I linked arms with the guy next to me and left in a hurry, walking so fast like there was a mad dog chasing me. Xian stomped her foot unwillingly, linked arms with the cold-faced Zhou Qi and got into her car. Until their car drove far away, I finally let out a sigh of relief and quickly pulled my arm away. What? You just throw me away after using me? The man's voice was gentle, but with a hint of helplessness. Sorry about that. If we run into each other again, I'll treat you to dinner. I gotta go now. Without waiting for his reply, I turned around and ran. No worries, you'll get to treat me eventually. But I was running too fast. I didn't hear what he said after that at all. But whatever he said doesn't matter to me anyway. I really got quite a scare today. I don't dare bet that that lunatic Xiaoan might be waiting to ambush me at the community entrance. So I just booked a hotel room near my office to rest. Those two, Xiaoan and Zhou Qi, are totally a case of both sides being willing. One acts out, the other puts up with it. I was woken up by a phone ring in the middle of the night. It was an unknown number. I hung up, but they called again right away. It's the middle of the night and they just won't stop. That's totally nuts. I just turned off my phone straight away. To avoid this random annoying mess, the next day, right as I turned my phone on, Xiaoan's mom called me immediately. I picked up the call. Hello, Auntie, is there something you need? Xiaoan, what on earth is going on between you and Xiaoan? She said she went to look for you, but you wouldn't open the door. Then some jerk called the police out of nowhere. and they took her into custody. Her tone over the phone was full of resentment. Who else could it be? It's almost definitely my kind older neighbor who called the cops. Shan really never learns her lesson. Doesn't she know there are security cameras in the hallway? Auntie Xia, I worked overtime last night to rush a proposal, so I didn't go home. I lowered my voice and explained like I was wronged, but I was secretly laughing inside. She called you, but you didn't answer, and you even turned off your phone. In the end, Chie had to go bail her out himself. Auntie Xia's tone was still harsh. Oh, so that middle-of-the-night call was from Xia? Disturbing people in the middle of the night like that? Good thing I turned my phone off. Besides, when your daughter gets in trouble, if you don't let your son-in-law bail her out, who else are you going to count on? Auntie Xia, you should really talk some sense into Xiaoan and Chie. Don't let all their goodwill get destroyed by all this drama. Too much fighting is bad for everyone involved. I said all that earnestly, then hung up right away. What a total headache. Xiaoan's mom probably still has too much pride, so she didn't call again. I'm like this little butterfly that actually ended up causing a huge storm. Xiaoan can't stand that I'm keeping my distance from her, so she keeps showing up at my office entrance to wait for me all the time. I have no idea how she has so much free time. We barely saw each other after we started working anyway. We mostly kept in touch over the phone, but now she comes to stake out my office 2 or 3 times a week. To avoid her, I have to work super late at the office every time. Sometimes I even have to go to my manager's office. Small cubicle to crash for the night. The company I work at now has partnerships with the Xia family. In my past life, it was exactly pressure from the Xia couple that forced me to quit my job. This life, Xiaoan's too busy causing trouble for me to do crazy stuff like setting things on fire. But I can't guarantee that she won't. Take other extreme actions. If I don't want to get dragged into a bunch of trouble, I have to solve the problem at its root. And cut ties with Xiaoan completely. After the experience of being forced to resign last time, I don't want to make the same mistake again. After struggling with it for a while, I knocked on my manager's office door. Come in, a mature woman's voice sounded with a hint of coldness. Sister Qiu, I'm here to hand in my resignation. I summoned up all my courage and finally got those words out. Xiaowen, you've always been steady and reliable at work. Why all of a sudden? My manager, Sister Chu, twirled the pen in her hand and looked at me with a cold gaze. Both my parents got sick at the same time. I have to go home to take care of them. I'm really sorry. The parents who gave birth to me but never raised me. Let me borrow your remaining worth for a little while first. I already applied to the higher-ups to promote you to deputy supervisor. It's such a shame you're resigning now. In my past life, the deputy supervisor spot was never going to be mine anyway. The Xia family could just stick anyone they wanted in that role. I never stood a chance of getting it. Sister Qiu, I want to spend more time with my parents. I declined politely. That position wasn't going to end up with me anyway. Fair enough. You really should spend more time with elderly parents. Sister Qiu nodded slowly. Approved. Go write your resignation letter. I'll sign it for you. I didn't expect my boss to be so easy to talk to. Previous employees who resigned under her were often yelled at until they cried. I'm pretty lucky, huh? It took me a week to finish handing over all my work. Then I submitted my resignation letter to Sister Chu. All right, tonight we're all having a farewell dinner, my treat. Sister Q signed the letter and handed it back to me. I'll take care of the HR side of things for you. You just go home and focus on taking care of your parents. That's too much. I can't let you do that. I can't have you spending money on that. She signed the letter so quickly and easily, and even offered to pay for dinner herself. I never would have thought that the usually strict Sister Q would be so warm and kind. No problem. I already asked the security guards to stop your friend today. You can just head out directly this afternoon. Sister Q smiled slyly. Everything was obviously under her control. But fate had other plans. When we were singing at the KTV, Xiaoan suddenly pushed open the private room door. She had a somewhat ferocious look on her face. Long time no see, leaning. Why haven't you replied to my messages lately? I've been really worried about you. Xiaoan quickly hid her unusual expression. She stepped forward and linked arms with me. Her tone was super affectionate. Your company is so nice. You even hold regular team-building activities. Let's go outside and talk. Xiaoan spoke first. I gestured for my coworkers who paused singing to continue. I took Xiaoan's hand and walked out of the private room. I brought her to the crowded lobby. We sat down on the sofa. What's wrong with you? Have you been avoiding me this whole time lately? Did I do something to upset you? You won't even come home. That tigress living across from you keeps calling the cops on me. Her tone was full of grievance and complaint. Isn't it totally deserved that they arrest you? I'm avoiding you just because I don't want to pay your debts for you. I knew she would come find me a long time ago. I even thought of all the excuses she would use beforehand. Xiaoan, my parents are sick. They need a huge sum of money for treatment. I've been working overtime every day to finish proposals lately. I'm almost dead tired. I rubbed my throbbing forehead. My face was full of exhaustion. After all, when money comes up, even the best friendship can go sour easily. Didn't you say they never cared about you before? Xiaoan tried to change the subject immediately. She refused to talk about the money issue at all. Just stop caring about them, it's that simple. They are my biological parents. There's no way I can ignore them. Xiaoan, can you lend me 300,000 wen to tide me over first? All my money is with Qiye right now. Stop being so foolishly filial, okay? Xiaoan touched the tip of her nose awkwardly. That's her usual tell when she's lying. Xiaoan, you don't want to help me, do you? I lowered my head. I cast my eyes downward. Of course not, how about this? My friend's nightclub is hiring waitstaff right now. Want to go apply for the job? Wow, Xiaoan really gave me a perfect idea. I'm not working at a place like that. Didn't you say it yourself? We are best friends, Xiaoan. You just refuse to help me, that's all. I raised an eyebrow. My tone had a hint of annoyance. So you want to play rogue? Two can play that game. It's almost the end of the workday anyway. I have to head home first. Yinning, I'll think of something for your parents' situation, okay? Xiaoan grabbed her bag and turned to leave right away. She didn't hesitate for even a second. That bag of hers costs more than 300,000 yuan, right? Turns out stinginess has its roots. Back then, the Jia couple made false accusations against me, all just to avoid paying the compensation they owed me. The second I mentioned 300,000 yuan today, Xiaoan didn't dare pester me anymore. That's great. But Xiaoan, what you owed me from your past life is way more than just money. As soon as Xian left, I went to the front desk to pay the bill. I really can't let Sister Q pay for me again this time. She already spent over 1,000 wen on dinner tonight. Did you send your girlfriend off? Yep, she's gone. Let's keep having fun. I replied with a small smile. Isn't 300,000 yuan enough to end this so-called friendship? After we ate and drank our fill, I saw off all my coworkers. I bowed to Sister Q to thank her for all her help. Family is the most important thing. Don't leave any regrets. After saying that, Sister Q got in her car and left. This matter finally came to a close. After quitting my job, the next thing I need to solve is the housing problem. There's no way I can keep living there anymore. I plan to find a really strong, muscular guy to rent my apartment. Xian is terrified of strong men. I posted the rental ad online, and the next day someone with the screen name, Tough Guy, added me on WeChat. I clicked on his profile picture. His biceps are really well developed, that's for sure. Are you looking to rent an apartment? I want to ask, is your place a haunted house? My rent is 3,000 yuan cheaper than other apartments in the same community. But the hard rule is only tall, strong men can rent it. Anyone would find that suspicious, right? So do you want to rent it? There's a surprise. My neighbor is a super pretty lady. She's single and unmarried. What a coincidence. I'm also single and unmarried. I'll rent your haunted house. I'll come over later to sign the contract. Oh my god, that's guys for you. Tisk tisk, that guy came really fast. He was wearing a short-sleeved shirt, has a tattoo sleeve on his left arm, super muscular, looks like someone you don't want to mess with. He should be able to handle Xian. When we were talking in the hallway, the girl next door opened her door, holding a stick in her hand. Seeing that he and I were chatting pretty well, she gave an awkward smile and closed the door again. This pretty lady is really nice. Mind showing me around the apartment? The tough guy didn't talk much, but he was super straightforward. He walked around the whole apartment once and said right away he'd rent it for a year, and even gave me an extra 8,000 wen to cover the back rent I was owed. This guy's so straightforward. Plus, he's got all that solid muscle. He can definitely help me keep the apartment, right? After we signed the contract, I took him to the property management to register, and also told him the real reason the rent was so low. He didn't care at all. Waved it off and said it was no big deal. He even picked up my luggage for me and walked me out of the community. Cheyenne didn't change numbers to harass me these days. But a stranger on WeChat transferred 300,000 yen to me. I texted to ask who it was, but the message was rejected. Oh, so this person blocked me right after transferring the money. I opened the transfer record to check. The last character of the note was Juan. None of the people I know have a name ending with Juan. Is this a scam or what? I immediately blocked them right back. As long as I don't accept the money, it'll be refunded automatically after 24 hours. And it won't have anything to do with me then. Now I have two choices. First, go back to the countryside to stay with my grandma. Second, move to another city to find a job. The prosperity of the city has long been rooted in my heart. Young people are supposed to work hard and strive for more, not wallow in comfort and ease. So of course I chose to stay in the city to develop my career. These days I've been busy sending resumes to over a dozen companies in the neighboring city. I don't have time to deal with Xian's stuff at all. A few days later, a stranger kept sending WeChat friend requests. I thought it was from the company I interviewed with, so I accepted the request. Leaning, are you really avoiding me? I went to your place and you weren't there. Your old company said you already resigned. I got 10,000 yuan from Chi. Do you still need it? A bunch of questions popped up one after another, no need to guess. This was definitely Xian. I have no idea where she got so many WeChat accounts and phone numbers. How long has it been quiet? And now she's bothering me again. She's an unemployed bum. I don't need money you sold a kidney to get. Thanks. That one line shut down all her questions right away. Xiaoan's focus is always different from everyone else's. What kind of kidney is worth that much? Xiaoan, do you have any openings at your company? Can I work there as a planning director? You can help me with this tiny favor, right? Ning, what are you talking about? I'm just a low-level clerk myself. How can I just hire a director out of nowhere? She replied super fast. She must have long forgotten how she insisted on getting Zhou Qi hired as a director at the Jia family's company back then. Xiaoan, you won't even help me with this tiny favor. Go wash up and sleep. You can have everything you want in your dreams. After I said that, Xiaoan stopped replying. This is the so-called best friend who said if I couldn't find a job, I could go to her for help. Good thing I never took her seriously. But fighting fire with fire like that was so satisfying. The companies I sent resumes to replied very quickly. I finally picked a small to mid-sized company that provides room and board, and has strict dorm management for my interview. I looked it up on purpose before I went. This company and the Zia family's company have no business cooperation with each other, so I don't have to worry about getting fired for no reason. The interview went really well. HR told me I can start work the next day. This afternoon, I went to set up my dorm room. The dorm is not far from the company. There are two old guys with batons guarding the entrance. The security is really solid as expected. HR told me, except for company staff, no one else is allowed to be brought into the dorm. This alone will stop Xiaoan from coming to live with me. My new life, here I come. Similar jobs are pretty much the same. I fit into the new environment really quickly. In the middle of my busy schedule, the neighbor girl I haven't talked to in a long time sent me a 10-something minute long video. The video had a lot of content. She even edited it thoughtfully, added subtitles, and sent it to me. Xiaoan brought Chochi to knock on my old apartment door, but the tough guy answered the door. Xiaoan looked him up and down. There was a hint of teasing in the tone. Didn't expect you guys have such wild tastes, and actually go for this type of guy. Chuchi heard that too. His face instantly darkened completely. The tough guy told them to get lost. Said this was his own house. Don't cause trouble here. Xiaoan didn't buy it, and insisted on forcing her way in. The tough guy grabbed her ponytail directly and dragged her outside, slammed the door and ignored them. Xiaoan banged loudly on the door from outside. There's a fast-forward part in the middle of the video. The police showed up at the door. Xiaoan was the one who called them. The number of times the police have visited my place in these past few months is honestly crazy. Xian told the police the tough guy broke into my house. She thought I'd been kidnapped, so she called the cops to save me. After opening the door, the tough guy handed the rental contract straight to the police. Then Xiaoan and Zhou were both in the hallway and got a proper lecture from the police, then left with their tails between their legs. When I watched this clip, I could totally feel the police officers' frustration. They get called over for this kind of Trivial nonsense every single time. The girl next door even praised the tough guy for being super manly and said she wanted to ask him out. I texted back saying she should hang out more and use her charm to win him over. The neighbor girl sent an okay emoji back. I've met a lot of new colleagues at the new company. Everyone's really nice. I started at an entry-level position, and I've been soaking up new skills like a sponge. My coworkers are all happy to help out too. Look, Xia'an, ever since I got away from you, my life's been so great. I have no idea how Xia'an, who couldn't find me, got a hold of my parents' phone number. She called to ask what illness they had, and if they'd recovered yet. This phone call almost made my heartless parents blow a fuse. My mom called and viciously yelled at me for a whole hour, not stopping for a single second. I turned my phone volume all the way down and focused on working on my proposal document, only giving a perfunctory reply once in a while. Maybe she noticed I was being uninterested. She actually cursed me to never have children. I replied saying, "Don't curse yourselves. I'm your daughter after all." That finally shut them up. After hanging up, I thought, seriously? You've ignored me ever since I was little. Now you're only being used a tiny bit. And you rush to yell at me. You only care about your precious son. If I hadn't transferred my huku out when I started college, I would have been stuck supporting my brother for my whole life by now. In my past life, when they found out my house burned down, the first thing they did wasn't check if I was safe. They asked when I bought the house and demanded to know why I didn't put the property under my brother's name. They said if the house was under my brother's name, they could pull strings to sue the new owner in court and force them to pay compensation. But the property was under my name. Even if they tried every trick in the book, it would end up going to an outsider anyway. After all, a married daughter is like spilled water. You can't take it back. They even forbade me from killing myself and ordered me to pay off all my debts first before I die, so I don't drag them down. What ridiculous parents I have. If I didn't look somewhat like them, I would have thought I was adopted for sure. I wonder if Xia'an's life has been too easy this lifetime, that he has to go out of his way to cause trouble. He sweet-talked my parents so much they were completely dazed, saying he wanted to go to my hometown to visit my grandma. My parents took 880 yuan from him and sent him my hometown address right away. I only learned about this when he sent me a photo of my old house in my hometown, that I pressed him to tell me the whole thing. Li Ning, is this your grandma? Look, she's growing vegetables. She looks so lonely. How about I find something for grandma to do? Xia'an used another unfamiliar phone number to send me this text. When I saw this message, I was instantly furious. Those two are so stupid. And Xia'an is totally insane. In my past life, the person I owed the most to was my grandma. She went through so much hardship to raise me, but she never got to enjoy a single day of good life. She knew I was busy paying off my debts. The day she passed away, she called me specifically to tell me all her savings were buried under the walnut tree in our hometown yard, and told me to take it for emergencies. I was busy running business errands back then, so I hung up in a hurry and didn't notice how weak her voice was. She suffered her whole life. Her son and daughter-in-law refused to support her, and her favorite granddaughter was too swamped with debt to take care of her. She just passed away peacefully like that, without disturbing anyone. It was the neighbor who noticed he hadn't stepped out of the house for days. They went to check on him and found he had already passed away. Now that I get to live my life all over again, I will definitely bring grandma to live with me and take good care of her. I will never let her suffer even the tiniest bit of grievance in this life. I will make sure she enjoys a comfortable and happy old age. Xia'an's move really hit me right where it hurts. He has me exactly by my most vulnerable weak spot. But there's no way I'll let him do whatever he wants. Anne, come back. Let's have a proper talk. My fingertips were trembling. I sent this text message word for word. Xia'an only replied with 2 words. Too late. I panicked and ran out of the office. I dug up the phone number of my hometown neighbor, who also happens to be my middle school classmate. I called him right away to warn him to definitely keep an eye out for any outsiders and never let any stranger get close to grandma. My classmate told me not to worry, saying he would take grandma to his home to take care of her these days. He told me to focus on my work at ease and don't worry about things back home. Maybe some people are naturally drawn to fire, to the point of near paranoid obsession. Xia'an is exactly one of those people. The revenge method he came up with was actually to set fire to my old house in the hometown. He didn't care at all if Grandma was still inside the house back then. He only wanted to teach me a lesson, to make me understand that he is not someone I can avoid whenever I want. I have been working away from home all year round. Thanks to my classmates' help, I installed several security cameras near my old house so that I can check on Grandma through the footage anytime I want. And that's exactly why the whole process of the old house catching fire this time was recorded clearly by the security cameras. The big fire swallowed up the whole old house, and this was obviously a case of man-made arson. The evidence is rock solid. The Jia family soon sent a team of professional lawyers. In front of such ironclad evidence, unless we choose to settle the case, the arsonist will definitely face jail time. I still can't understand Jia-an's craziness to this day. Just because I wanted to keep distance from him, he kept coming after me relentlessly, and even targeted the most important person in my heart. Taking advantage of this incident, I originally wanted to pursue the responsibility to the end. After all, I really can't guard against his crazy outbursts that may happen anytime. But I overestimated my parents' conscience after all, and also underestimated the influence of the Xia family. In the end, my parents and Grandma still chose to settle. The Xi family compensated our family with 2 million yuan on the spot. My classmate told me with a choked voice, "Yining, open your eyes and see clearly. Your parents are real jerks. All of us are doing this for Grandma. They sucked up to those people like bootlickers, but what did they get?" When I asked Grandma why she also agreed to settle, I was full of confusion. There's no way Grandma would nod and agree easily. Grandma demanded your parents to take out 600,000 yuan and sign the paperwork to cut off all ties with you. From now on, you don't have to bear the responsibility and obligation to support them anymore. Your parents signed the papers for that 1.4 million yuan. That's when Grandma agreed to settle. She gave all the money to me. I'll transfer the money to you right now. There was a hint of sadness in my classmate's voice. 400,000 yuan is enough for me. You can keep the rest. It's just a little token of my appreciation. All these years when I was away, Grandma relied completely on you to take care of her back home. This 200,000 yuan is supposed to be yours. He didn't say anything else and hung up the phone. Not long after, 600,000 yuan was transferred to my bank card. I transferred 100,000 yuan to him and asked his family to take extra care of Grandma recently. I will go back to pick her up once I finish my work. Only then did my classmate agree to take the money, saying he will definitely take good care of Grandma and let me work at ease. Don't always think about coming back. He hopes I can have a good future. Cheyenne really outsmarted himself this time. The security footage clearly captured him ordering others to set the fire. Even if he really gets thrown into jail, his sentence won't be too long. The Xia family is willing to spend money. They just don't want Xia-an to have a criminal record. I should even thank him for this accidental mistake, which helped me cut off all ties with that family completely. God knows how happy I am about this. They can just live it up with that 1.4 million yuan for the rest of their lives. Xia-an came back safe and sound, but there was a female bodyguard following him every step of the way. Looking at that posture, it didn't look like protection at all. It was obviously more like surveillance. I just finished my internship and was about to become a full-time employee. Cheyenne's mother asked to meet me. The location was chosen at a coffee shop near my company. The information got leaked again. I have basically become a transparent person. The Xiao family really has endless tricks up their sleeves. Aunt Xia was extra polite to me this time, no longer as arrogant and stuck up as before. Even when I walked closer, she took the initiative to stand up and greet me. "Xiaowen, can you go back to work in S City? Xiao-an can't live without you. Can't live without me." That's so ridiculous. I don't have that sort of feelings for her, Aunt Xia. Xiao-an already has a husband. Mr. Zhou treats her really well. She has a pretty extreme personality. You know that, right? It was already too late when her dad and I found out. Aunt Xia took a sip of coffee. Her eyes looked a little unfocused. Her extreme personality has hurt me terribly. I stood up and bowed. "Aunt Xia, if there's something wrong with Xia-an, you can take her to see a psychologist. I can't answer questions about mental health issues. It's not my field of expertise after all. Xiaowen, your company isn't that big. What do you say if our Xia family buys out your company?" Aunt Xia didn't seem surprised by my rejection. She looked up and started negotiating terms with me. What a joke. If you really can buy out our company, can't I just quit and find another job? Besides, does the Xia family even have that capability? The Xi family is super rich and powerful. Feel free to buy us out. With that, I grabbed my bag and left. The Xia family has tons of money. For them, any problem that money can fix is never a real problem. But so what if they're rich? In my past life, they twisted the truth just for a few million yuan. They insisted that I was the one who killed their daughter. In this life, they set a fire and paid off my parents with only 2 million yuan. This only makes Xian even more bold and reckless. Xian's craziness didn't come out of nowhere. The Jia couple has always spoiled her rotten, letting her do whatever she wants. Except for the time she got bullied in high school. Xian has always been super self-centered. I just wonder how the Xi family will react this time. A few days later, a super hot guy joined our company out of nowhere. He's really young, tall and well-built, and super handsome. He just looks kind of familiar. Whoa, team building girl. What are you doing at our company? The hot guy was wearing a white shirt, grinning like he was up to no good. Team building girl? What kind of dumb nickname is that? I really wanted to jump up and punch him. I stretched my mouth into a grin, showing my standard 8-tooth smile. Pink shirt guy, beach sunglasses, bro. Stop giving people random nicknames. He smiled softly. Oh, that jerk. I never thought he'd be my new coworker. Interesting, you even lured that Jia family pest here? The hot guy said this with a grin, then turned around and left in a cool manner, leaving a crowd of shocked, gossiping coworkers behind. What's going on? You know, the big boss? But the big boss is so hot, oh my god. This is my first time meeting him too. Wait, is there something going on between you two? My coworkers were all talking over each other, their voices coming from every direction. It was only then that I realized this hunk was actually the big boss of our company. The company boss before was clearly a gentle, pretty middle-aged woman. She was so nice. She bought us afternoon tea every day. How did we suddenly get this snarky guy instead? All I did was avoid those two pests. And grabbed a random guy as a shield, okay? Who would have guessed that the guy I grabbed is our current big boss? This is literally a massive social death moment. But on the other hand, even though the big boss is snarky and loves roasting people, his work ability is insanely good. He doesn't even seem like a regular person. The Jia family has been wanting to buy out our company. The big boss only took 3 days to launch a green storm against Jia Corporation. Their stock hit the limit down directly. It was only at this point that the Jia family realized they'd messed with the wrong person this time. Xia An's father came personally to our company to apologize. The big boss only let it go after extorting a huge sum from him, but he still kept suppressing the Xia family. This round, our small company won a complete victory, while the Xia family suffered a crushing defeat. Later, I heard from people that the Xia family begged Zhou Group for protection this time, and that's how they managed to stay afloat. Hearing the name Zhou Group, I suddenly remembered, not long after Jie En died, Zhou Jie also went missing. Later, when I was scrolling through entertainment news, I seemed to have seen him before. The report said he was the illegitimate son that the Zhou family had just found not long ago. Oh, that makes sense. The Xia couple already knew Zhou Qie's real identity a long time ago. That's why they allowed their daughter to marry him. If he were a poor guy, that snobbish Xia couple would never agree to let Xia En date him. With the Xia family's strength, they never could have gotten in good with Zhou Group. But with Zhou Qie as the connection, Zhou Group will give the Xia family some benefits, at least. After all, the Zhou family has very few descendants. Then in my past life, why would Xia En go kill herself at my home? Zhou Qie obviously has such a bright future. What could Xia En be so upset about? Now let's talk about our company's big boss. After seeing his sharp and decisive work style, his good external conditions end up being ignored by everyone. No one dares to have silly thoughts about him. That thought is clearly etched in everyone's mind. He's not as suave and charming as typical overbearing CEOs. He is very self-disciplined. But he is also super stingy. He insisted that I treat him to a meal, saying I promised to treat him last time, so I have to keep my promise. I can't go back on my word, geez. I thought the big boss was flirting with me in a weird way. Turns out I only realized when I opened the menu. I was totally overthinking it. When it was time to pay the bill after eating, that amount was almost equal to my 1 month's salary. The big boss smacked his lips. dropped a we're even and left. This hard lesson taught me, don't strike up random conversations with strangers, and never make promises easily. With the big boss, this big shot, running the show, the company's development has been skyrocketing, and our salaries have gone up right along with it. When I got my own property ownership certificate and finished all the formalities, I sold the house to him at market price. He paid the full house payment all at once. The moment I got the money, I felt even the air around me smelled sweet. Actually, even if he hadn't mentioned buying the house, I would have found a way to sell it anyway. I work in the neighboring city right now. Housing prices, there are lower. I used that money to buy a house outright in that city's newly built residential community, so now I'm officially a homeowner too. I'm just waiting for the house to be completed and renovated. Then I'll bring my grandma to the city to live with me, so it's easier to take care of her. Half a year later, Sha'an showed up at my dorm gate. Ning, can you come with me to someplace? Sha'an dropped her usual enthusiastic attitude. She looked a bit timid. No, I still have work left to finish. I turned her down straight away. Flies only go after cracked eggs. As long as I don't give her any opening, I won't get hurt. I was so nice to you before. How can you brush me off like this now? Sha'an blocked my way. Her tone was aggressive. You even burned down my old family home. Why the hell should I still be nice to you? I tried to go the other way to leave. I didn't want to keep arguing with her. That's only because you've been avoiding me. As Sia-an spoke, she reached her hand into her shoulder bag to fumble around for something. What do you think you're doing? I'd been watching her warily this whole time and immediately grabbed her hand in the bag tight. Jo Chie isn't some poor kid from a humble family at all. I just found out about this. I was so nice to him before, for what? He's been hiding this from me this whole time? He deserves to die. She-an's eyes were red, rambling crazily to herself incoherently. And you bought a house behind my back, and you're dating someone behind my back? What's that about? Sha'an's tone was full of sarcasm. I tell you everything, but what about you? You hide everything from me. Looking at how she was acting, if we didn't sort this out today, I was afraid things wouldn't end well. Xiaoan, let's go to the coffee shop nearby and sit down to talk properly. Okay. Sha'an was clearly acting off. I had to do my best to calm her down. I couldn't let her keep acting this crazy. You go first, I'll follow you. Sha'an glared at me viciously. Let me go first. No way I'd dare do that. What if she stabs me in the back? I'd be dead for sure. The two of us just stood there in a stalemate. The dorm's gate uncle saw that something was wrong and walked over holding a baton. What are you two doing here? You're not from our company, are you, young lady? Hurry up and leave, go on, or I'll have to force you to leave. As the uncle spoke, he raised the baton, pretending he was going to hit Sha'an. Sha'an looked at the fierce-looking uncle. Even though she was full of unwillingness, she didn't dare to make a scene anymore. Just you wait. I will definitely come back for you. Sha'an spat out those harsh words, turned around and left. Sha'an coming to find me out of the blue. There's definitely something fishy going on here. Honestly, I really can't guarantee that in this life she will do something to hurt me or not. I nodded to thank the uncle, but the uncle shook his head. This young lady has already been waiting here for you for an hour. Earlier, I saw her take a handkerchief out of her bag now and then, and took out a small knife after a while. I really can't figure out what she's up to. Young people these days, huh? Their minds are so hard to read. Hearing what the old man said, cold sweat instantly broke out on my back, sure enough. Sha never comes to me with good intentions. Luckily, the old man warned me in time. The news that the Ji family's villa caught fire spontaneously. I saw it on the local trending news. Firefighters arrived at the scene very quickly, pulled 2 unconscious people out of the fire. In this life, Xia-en set fire to his own villa and rushed into the fire with Jo Chie. Fortunately, both of them were rescued alive. After reincarnating for a lifetime, Xia-en still chose to destroy everything with fire, including himself. Maybe he really has an indissoluble bond with fire. According to the news report, when the Jia family's villa first caught fire, the villa's nanny called the fire department immediately. That's how both of their lives were saved. The night the villa caught fire was the exact same day Xia-an came to see me. That means Xi-an wanted to trick me into going to the villa, to burn to death in the fire with him. What Xia-an did has completely gone beyond what normal people can understand. He passed out from choking on thick smoke. After waking up, the Zhou family forcibly sent him to a mental hospital. As for Zhou Qie, he was drugged by Xiaoan and tied up in the villa lobby after he passed out. His injuries were pretty serious. The Zhou family has very few offspring in this generation. They value this newly found illegitimate son a lot. The way he treated Zhou Qie was no different than plucking hair from a tiger's head, courting death. If the fire truck hadn't arrived in time, Zhou Qie would probably have died for sure. Half a month later, Zhou Qie finally woke up. The first thing he asked for was to see me, of all things. The Zhou family sent 4 bodyguards to pick me up. Coming with them were our company's CEO and his secretary. The CEO was just there to watch the fun, other than him making me pay for a meal last time. We have no personal contact at all. In the exclusive VIP ward of the Zhou family's private hospital, Zhou Qie was still wearing an oxygen mask. When he saw me walk in holding sunflowers, he signaled the nurse to adjust the bed up and sat up as straight as possible to talk to me. Wen Yining, I wrote you a love letter our freshman year of college. Didn't you receive it? Zhou Qie dropped a huge bombshell the second he spoke. But I really never got any such letter, so I could only shake my head honestly. A cold smile appeared on his sickly face. I knew you wouldn't get it. Xian destroyed the love letter. Under my shocked gaze, Zhou Qie told me many secrets I never knew before. Xian was never bullied at all. All that stuff was just a show he paid people to put on. After doing that so many times, I would naturally save the frail-looking him. He's a born hunter, and I was his first prey. Born in a rural area, with no connections to rely on. Ambitious and lonely, I was the perfect target. He made me drown in his fake care and affection, while he enjoyed the exclusive sense of control over me. Zhou Qie became his second target when we were in college. Too bad Zhou Qie liked me instead. So he told Zhou Qie that I was a vain and greedy woman and persuaded him to dump me and choose him instead, wearing a weak, helpless disguise and pretending to be a prey himself. In this complicated world full of scheming people, Xiaoan played the part of a vulnerable person, and vulnerable prey always makes people lower their guard. Take Zhou Qie's attitude toward Xiaoan, for example. At first, he really thought that Xiaoan's love for him was reckless and unconditional. No matter how much he humiliated Xiaoan, he would never leave him. Gradually, Zhou Qie fell in love with Xiaoan, drowning in the sense of masculine satisfaction he created, and completely lost sight of his original intentions. But during the 6 months he was confined, Xiaoan secretly contacted a private investigator and dug up a lot of dirt. His prey was actually growing and getting stronger. The fact that I secretly bought an apartment was something he absolutely could not tolerate. He couldn't stand his prey being stronger than him. As for Zhou Qie's identity, there was no need to hire a private investigator at all. The Zhou family announced his background right away. You could find it with a quick internet search. Xiaoan planned this for a very long time. To destroy all of his prey, that day he finally escaped the Z family's supervision. First, he broke down Zhou Qie's defenses with his weak act and made him drink fruit juice laced with sleeping pills. As for me, because the security uncle stopped me, he couldn't take me back to the villa. The Xia family supervised him very strictly. He couldn't waste too much time at my place, so he went back and set the villa on fire, wanting to burn to death with Zhou Qie in the fire, so they could be together forever. His way of thinking, normal people would never get it. Zhou Qie also told me, earlier Xiaoan told him my family needed 300,000 yuan, so he transferred 300,000 yuan to me using a secondary account, but I didn't accept it. The mystery is finally solved now. That random unexplained 300,000 yen was actually sent by Zhou Qie. I put the sunflowers my boss bought into the vase in the hospital ward. I quietly pulled the bug hidden in the flowers out. I was about to walk out of the ward. Do I still have a chance to pursue you again? It seemed like Zhou Qie had used up all his strength to say that sentence. There's no such thing as us being well apart. After saying that, I walked out of the ward. I sat on a chair in the hallway and lost in thought. I don't have much contact with Zhou Qie. Everything I knew about him came from Xiaoan. In my past life, he and Xiaoan were in love. No matter what purpose Xiaoan had back then, he really loved her deeply at that time. He couldn't bear to let her get hurt even a little bit. But his affection for me is way too vague. In my past life, not long after Zhou Qie returned to the Zhou family, he got engaged to and married a famous celebrity. That was exactly what the entertainment news reported. Sha'an is still alive in this life. As long as the Zhou group doesn't collapse, Sha'an will never be discharged from the hospital. Chu Qi and Xian are legally married. Xia will never agree to a divorce. The law also won't allow him to marry that celebrity. He can forget about that in this life. Any woman who dates him will not have their relationship recognized by law. I didn't go to see Xia'an, and I will never go to see her again. From now on, she's just an irrelevant passerby in my life. She has already received the punishment she deserves in this life. All the mysteries from my past life have all got their answers now. The days are peaceful and nice. We're both doing well on our own. After the house renovation was finished, I picked my grandma up from the countryside. Holding Grandma's rough but warm hands, I felt extremely reassured. I took Grandma to the hospital for a full physical checkup. All the issues found are common diseases among the elderly. The doctor prescribed some traditional Chinese medicine. She just needs to recuperate well at home. As for the situation of my parents, I heard it from a classmate in my hometown. Overly spoiled kids easily go astray. My little brother is a typical example. He gets into fights all the time. He idles around, drinks, gambles, and wastes money. He spent all the compensation money in less than 2 years. And he even owed 1,000,000 yuan in gambling debts. My parents couldn't bear to beat him, so they went back to the hometown to ask about my whereabouts. But my classmates' parents chased them out of the village with brooms. They never took care of me since I was little. I still remember when I was 5 years old. Right after my mom got pregnant with my brother, she gave me a plum she didn't like to eat. The sweet and sour taste spread across my taste buds. That was the first time she offered me snacks on her own. And it was also the last time after my brother was born. They went out to work in the city and never came back. Grandma and I changed all our contact information. They can't even find my brother at all. The debts he owed, they can pay them off slowly for the rest of their lives. Let them taste what it's like to pay off debts. Shaja is clinging onto Zhou Qie for dear life. He is the only hope for the Xia family to make a comeback. But after Zhou Qie returned home from the hospital, he became a completely different person. He wiped out the entire Xia family. Finally, he forced the Xia couple to flee abroad to evade taxes, and they were never heard from again. Xia'an died one night. She was beaten to death by other patients. When the hospital staff found her, her body was already completely cold. Zhou Qie came to me with a letter written by Xia'an. In the letter, she threatened that, if she could ever get out, she would never show mercy and let me off again. Too bad she will never have that chance. He also asked me, now that he is single, if he has a chance to be with me. I turned him down politely. I never contacted him again after that. 2 years passed. I became the planning director of the company. Our pretty lady boss is very nice to us. When the head boss is not around, she always buys us afternoon tea. She is the head boss's biological mother. She even wants to take me home as her daughter-in-law. As for the head boss's sharp mouth, I need to think about it more. I'm really scared he will annoy me to death at a young age. I stay away from danger and lunatics in this life. I live a very free and comfortable life. I'm so grateful to God for giving me a second chance to live.